From our Midtown Atlanta studios, this is 11 Alive's Weekend Morning News, where we help you get ready for the weekend.
And welcome to 11 Alive Weekend Morning News for this final Saturday in August. Where has the month gone? I'm Floyd Hillman, and we'll take a look at your quiet hurricane season that's been up to now, but the tropics are starting to heat up. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. New developments this morning on the nationwide ag recall. MSNBC reports the nation's largest poultry farms could get a visit from the Fed soon, and some of those visits will likely be in Georgia. With the stock market reeling until yesterday and the economy hurting, who doesn't want to save money these days? Valerie Hoff has spent the week scouring for bargains, and will share them and ways to save. And enough with the practices. It's time to strap on the pads for the games that count. Welcome to 11 Alive's highschoolsports.net. Sam Crenshaw has our Friday night highlights. And looking at our forecast, we've got a nice weekend in store. We've got cloudy skies with a little bit of chances of isolated showers in store. 20% chance for today with a high of 87 degrees. 30% tomorrow with a high of only 83. Get nice and cool temperatures, and we'll start to heat up later in the week, and we'll take a look at their tropical storms just a little bit later in our forecast. We've also got a seafood recipe that will whet your appetite. And this is the show where you can chat live with us while we're on the air. All you have to do is click on the blue bar on the front page of 11alive.com, and you can talk with myself and our morning crew. After rainouts the past 2 weekends, the DOT is back at work on Interstate 20 today. Taking a look at your traffic, we're looking at 285 southbound at South Cobb Drive. We've got a little bit of delays going through there with the right lane shut down with construction. And also on I-20 that we talked about on eastbound has a lot of delays up to an hour. You can check on alternate routes and the delays at 11alive.com/traffic. As concern grows over a salmonella outbreak linked to eggs produced on 2 Iowa farms, the FDA is apparently about to ramp up inspections. Several Georgia facilities will likely be among 600 large egg farms to be inspected starting next month. An Obama administration official claims some eggs haven't been inspected in decades. Any egg farm with 50,000 or more hens should expect a visit. The nationwide recall of eggs has some people looking for other options, and that could boost the business of local farmers. 11 Alive's Jennifer Leslie is live at the Decatur Farmers Market, where eggs will get a lot of attention this morning. Thank you, Jennifer. President Obama heads to New Orleans tomorrow on what will be the 5th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina making landfall. We all remember the images of the Category 5 storm devastating New Orleans, other parts of Louisiana, and Mississippi. In the heart of New Orleans, there is little sign of what once was. The Superdome is now home to the NFL champion Saints, not evacuees. But the former mayor remembers, and not much has changed in the lower 9th Ward.
It just was horrific. I mean, it degraded into something that most human beings shouldn't have to experience, but unfortunately they did.
It's sad that 5 years later, look at this place. It looked like the water just came through last week.
In Mississippi, there is still work to be done, but the Bay St. Louis Bridge has reopened and casinos are humming in Biloxi. Ironically, after a relatively quiet hurricane season, things are starting to heat up in the Gulf. Hurricane Danielle has weakened to a Category 3 hurricane far out in the Atlantic. But the storm may be strong enough to bring riptides to the East Coast starting today. And there is a parade of tropical disturbances behind it. Chris will have more later in weather. Search crews still haven't found a man presumed drowned at a City of Atlanta water treatment plant. The victim was reportedly taking water samples at the R.M. Clayton facility in northwest Atlanta when he fell into the water Friday morning. No one has seen the man since, but since no one has seen him, crews are calling it a recovery operation. A Metro Atlanta woman is paying tribute to her husband who drowned while saving his own son from drowning. Even as she grieves, she is using her late husband's memory to help hundreds of kids. 11 Alive's Jerry Carnes tells us about the essay she has written and how it could help so many people. Such a touching and inspirational story. This is one of those weekends where there are so many things to do, it's hard to choose which ones you want to attend. But there is one that a lot of people who at work in our building said, I've got to check that out. Here is the scoop on the first annual Atlanta Ice Cream Festival. It will celebrate the end of the summer and the beginning of the school year. The festival begins at 1 p.m. at Piedmont Park and continues until 7 tonight. Judging by how vocal chocoholics are, you would think the chocolate is the most popular flavor, but vanilla is #1 by far. By the way, there will be a number of health and fitness activities, so you can try to burn off all the ice cream that you've eaten. We're going to stick our necks out and predict the zoo will also be a busy place as well today. This is the day we find out which name won for the baby giraffe. One of the entries came from 11 Alive viewers, so of course we are pulling for that one. The party runs from 10 a.m. to 1 in the African Plains section of the zoo. Also, not to be missed, a 16-foot by 10-foot cookie cake will be served. If all goes well, it will feed over 2,000 people. And the ultimate Michael Jackson tribute is tonight at Center Stage in Midtown. Appropriately, it's titled Who's Bad? And it gets underway at 9. Tickets are $20. From Who's Bad to What's Good, Valerie Hoff is back with ways to save after the break.